Hello again, everybody. Welcome once more to Powerline with the Video Ministry. This is Richard Ike, and we're on episode 141. And the title of today's message has not yet been decided because I have a very important story to tell at the beginning of the message. But then again, it could take up the whole message time, which means I'll have to change the title, which was supposed to be Female Champions of the Bible, Part 9. However, if the message takes up the story, rather, takes up the whole message, then I'll change the title of the message to a very important story. Mhm. And it goes like this. I drew inspiration from the previous message where I mentioned about uh, King Ahasuerus discovering that Haman, who was his best friend, was also his worst enemy. As it said, your best friend could be your worst enemy. And pondering upon that throughout this week, I'd been through such an experience. See, by the king giving Haman his ring, that meant Haman was his BFF, best friend forever. And then come to find out that Haman was his worst enemy. That he even jeopardized the life of his beautiful wife, Queen Esther. I thought about that. I said, I've had such an experience. And it so happened to be in the kingdom of Blake the dragon. Yes, Blake. You're still tapping into this message. Don't forget, the word still stands. If your white master, the late Robert Schuller, lost his cathedral, what makes you think you won't lose your own? If God didn't fight for that cathedral, I've seen it. I've driven past it a few times. I saw the splendor and glamour of it. It was just so glorious. No wonder Blake, that idiot Blake, went crazy singing this thing. You tried to replicate it. Yours didn't even come close to the glory of that one. If God didn't save that one, what makes you think He will save yours? Is inferior to that one. Then the Lord Jesus said, no servant is greater than his master. You are not greater than your master, Robert Schuller, the late Robert Schuller. If he lost his own, what makes you think you won't lose your own? Or you're putting faith? No. Those who are investing and sponsoring and donating, no, they will turn against you. With blacks, it's real easy. I said it. Emotionally unstable. One day, oh, I'll die for you. Do one thing. Next day, I wish this person would die. So it was in his kingdom, in Blake's kingdom, the kingdom of the black dragon, Blake. Was my co-worker of 7 years. Literally, it was the equivalent of somebody who my BFF, best friends forever. And we went through stuff. When he went through that, I was like his Bible. Somebody I would have laid down my life for. And interestingly, he was one of those individuals that if you had a friend like that, there was nothing you could not accomplish. Because he had so much faith in my ability that I did things based on his faith. I didn't think I could do it, but he had so much faith in me. I just did it based on his faith. And it worked. Because I'm thinking I can do it. I can do that. So why does he have this strange faith in me? He was one of those people that took Philippians 4:13 to a maniacal extreme. I could do all things through Christ. He would always come up with all kind of things. And then the labor would befall me. So, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, we're going to blow them out, we're going to take it to the next level. I'm saying I'm hearing me, that I'm going to, because I want to do the labor, my head will go down, here it comes again, coming up with all these crazy ideas. And he was interesting. He was a person of he was extremely unusual intelligent for a black American. Genius level. Literally. Guy was genius level. I said, this guy is extremely intelligent for a black American. He's going to have trouble with these people. And sure enough, he did. He told me that people being jealous of him because of his knowledge, the way his understanding and all that stuff. Guy knew Greek and Hebrew, the language of the Bible. I don't mean just interpretation. He could speak the thing. He would speak, he would get into one of these religious modes and start speaking Hebrew. Start saying stuff in Hebrew. I'm looking at this guy, and he had this memorization technique. He memorized the entire book of Proverbs. He would start walking around the reprographic center which we started and start reciting Proverbs chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, like he's reading like Energizer Bunny. He kept going, but it was all from his memory. He said he tried to memorize the entire Bible. So this guy's going to use an intelligence for Black America. He's going to have trouble with these people because Black Americans are inflamed by the raging fires of jealousy. I've never seen it before, to the point of physical reaction. I used to think they were acting, they were pretending. I found out that it was real. So I started hiding my own intelligence. And I just operated by a level of less than 2% of mental capacity just to blend in the act, though I'm as dumb as everybody else. Blend in and hide. But around me, he was free. I wasn't insecure, but it wasn't like a competition because they like to compete with each other. I just let him feel comfortable to express his intelligence around me. I wasn't insecure. And then in return, he used to feel comfortable for me to express my intelligence around him. It was just the two of us and opened set up the reprographic center. It was really easy. I just asked him a question. If I don't know someone, I asked him a question and he would teach me. And I go and do research and learn more and then come back and have more information than him. And then vice versa, he would ask me a question, I give him information and he go do research and learn more. So by this we are building each other or building each other's intelligence. It wasn't competition, we were complementing each other. They had their way of studying the Bible, Greek and Hebrew and all that stuff. He taught me and I showed him how I was taught to study the Bible. The pastor that trained me, an African preacher, uses allegory, symbolism, metaphors, illustration, the language of God. That's why people can't understand the book of Revelation. They don't speak his language. That's how Jesus told parables, how God gave dreams and visions to prophets. The same way book of Revelation is structured. It's the language of God. Symbolism, images, metaphors, illustrations. So that's how I study. He showed me how they study, the Greek and Hebrew interpretation. He gave me a concordance, showed me how to use the concordance and all that stuff. So we're building each other up. But there were character flaws. He's dealt me my worst betrayal. And later on I realized that it was under the order of the Black Dragon himself, Blake. That's why he dealt that betrayal onto me. Because I was wondering, why would he do such a thing? That some person that would lay down my life for him. Was with him when he went through all the trial. Why would he do something? When we found out he was under orders by the person whom he was worshiping the man at that time, but now he's turned it against the man. When I made the discovery, I said, so the truth about this man is coming out. If he himself could turn against this man, I would not have believed it. If not for the person who told me, say, how could he turn against? I thought he worshipped it. He would. But this guy talked me into doing the impossible. When I think about it, I'll say something, it can be done. He'll come out with these crazy ideas. I'll say, man, why would this guy stop? One time, because they're having issues with the yearbook, that's the reprographic center was set up with what used to be the Christian Academy of the church. So they were going to have the yearbook, and he was finding ways to save the church money. That's his specialty. He saved the church money. And he was doing all this stuff, and all the reward was accolades. We won't give him financial reward. That stuff bothered me. That's why I wasn't trying to add more, because I thought he was just going to extra and assisting him, but he wasn't getting. These black churches, they know how to use, abuse, and take advantage of people, and when they're done, they just dump them. So the yearbook, he came up with the idea to do the yearbook in-house to save a chunk load of money. And my department alone will save the church $500,000 a year. He came up with the idea to do the yearbook. But guess who was going to do the graphic? He said, full color yearbook. We do it in-house. And I'll do the graphic. Hey, here he comes again. I couldn't say no. You just come. I tried to convince him that it's impossible. He said, you should make it sound like it's easy. He just was able to talk me into doing. It was impossible. And the first yearbook, everybody was nervous, from the dragon himself on down. Everybody was giving an input, trying to help. So we didn't think we were going to pull it off. To one time, my boss even called me into the office. She had lost hope that we were going to succeed. So she said, trying to discourage me from doing it. I told her, I can do that. I was going to be able, I was going to handle it. And the reason I was confident that I was going to be able to do it because when I was thinking of how to organize all these things, I had so much information going to this yearbook, full color yearbook. I remembered her bookshelves, how she organized. I said, anytime that there's anything, she would go to one place and pull out a file, pull file. She had a place for everything. I looked at her shelves. I said, just the same way her shelves organized, that's how I'm going to organize the yearbook. And then it became a reality to me that it was possible. That's when I now had the confidence. But when I saw how she organized it, I said, the same way, the same sequence, everything is in order. Just going to arrange it. So when she was telling me that she didn't think I was going to be able to pull it off, I told her I was going to do it. I convinced her that. I was trying to convince her that I'm going to do it. I'm going to make it happen. And then she dropped the bombshell on me. Because usually when we did good, she'll take the credit. And when we did bad, she'll take the blame. Her equation was balanced. She didn't take credit and then give us blame. Take credit when it's good and give us blame when things went wrong. She took both the blame, credit and the blame, balance equation. But she said this time, if this doesn't work, that it's going to be on me, which means she's taking the noose off her neck and put it on my neck. If it goes wrong, she's not the one who's going to hang. I was going to hang. I said, fine. If I was to do it over again, I think I would have told her. And the way I was going to arrange the yearbook is the way she arranged herself. So that would have kept her nerves calm. But I didn't tell her. I just wanted her to see the results. I didn't want to ruin the surprise. But now, wiser. Now that I'm wiser, I said, I should have told her back then. So she would have been calm. Kept her nerves down. Because that was a major thing. Everybody was concerned. Finally, we pulled the thing off. Everybody was helping. Everyone was assisting. Everyone was helping. We pulled the thing off. It was a great success. By the next year, when it came for the next year book, I did the year book 5 years in a row. Next year, nobody gave me any help. I said, where did everybody go? So the one who was the chairman of the thing, I asked him, I said, hey, what happened to you? He said, oh, because I knew you could handle it. I said, what? Went from full assistance, the first one. Next one, 0 assistance. I was on my own. From hot water to cold water. I went to, my boss sent me to a layout class. I think it was about 3 after the second or third year after doing the yearbook. I went to a layout class. It was 2 days. There were only 2 blacks in the class. Everybody else was white. It was any Asian. I couldn't think of Asian. It was me and that black lady. And when they had asked us to pass around our work so other to see our work, I saw their work and I realized how advanced my own work was compared to theirs. I didn't want to pass out my work. I said, hey, man, I'm like the only black guy here, black guy and black lady. I said, if they see my work, I hope these folks don't lynch me, don't get mad and lynch me. Because what I was used to, blacks get jealous when you're doing something that they can't do. So I was used to an environment where people greet you with jealousy. Now I don't know how white were going to react. So when I started passing down my own, I was waiting for them. I could hear the reaction that was going down. Oh, wow, wow, wow. I said, oh, here it comes. Oh, my goodness, what's going to happen now? After the class, they were, oh, no. They handled it really good. It's like, hey, they can handle it. They didn't have issues with it. They're comfortable. They're secure. So a friend of mine told me to ask the teacher about schools that do yearbook. Then oh, I do yearbook. The instructor. And I do yearbooks. There's not any school that need yearbooks. So I can do yearbooks for him. The white instructor said something that struck me like a lightning bolt. He said, that's impossible. It takes an entire department to do what you do by yourself. I went back to work angry. I saw my boss, I was angry. I had to greet her out of anger. Because I said, they don't know the value of what they have here. But now that I think about it, the man was right. What I was doing was impossible, because when my friend first suggested it, I thought it was impossible. He convinced me to do the impossible. If it's not for that character flaw, I said, with a man like this on your side, you can do anything. So I brought the sample. This was the last yearbook that I did for the school. And that's Blake, the destroyer himself. The devourer of souls. one of Lucifer's many sons of perdition, the black dragon himself. It's hard to believe that behind this gentle, innocent looking face and plastic smile harbors the very spirit of Satan himself. Funny for years. This was a full color yearbook. This was the last one I did. I had to combine the old, the past and the present. So one section was for the past, and then the back section was for the present. And this was before the school closed. So I had to make it a grand, spectacular yearbook. Yeah. And there, that's me and my former co-worker, former BFF. A man, one of the most intelligent black Americans I've ever encountered, with the character flaw. He told me something about how he had his, how he memorized things. That's my picture right there. The old me. That's the me they knew in the church. That was the personality I had at the church that doesn't exist any longer. I had to adapt to that environment. After I left, I unadapted. So that's who they remember, but I'm not that person any longer, long gone. But this guy, man, his memory started to be hard to remember. He still go memorize the whole Bible. When he was reciting Proverbs, that's what I believed in. He would recite the entire Proverbs, just keep going like any chance upon it. He said there was some guy, Kevin Trudeau. And this guy was doing infomercials. He had this product was selling on memorization, that he bought the product. I remember seeing the guy's information in the early 90s was on mathematics, how to do mental mathematics. He had shortcuts of doing mathematics. It amazed me. So he had other products. So he got the guy's memory product. And he learned the memorization because you always say, I want to lock it in, I want to lock it in. What does he mean by lock it in? And he told me about his secret, that he learned the memorization technique. Wow. I would have bothered trying to figure out what the technique is, but I already have too much stuff in my brain. No, I don't have room. So, I just let him feel free to express it. When he was around others, he didn't, because the jealousy factor. He told me one time, he went to a church meeting before I arrived at the church. An elder who he respected, married to somebody, one woman that ran a department there, pulled him aside and told him he couldn't stand him. Why? All because of his intelligence. Who is respected. You couldn't take it anymore. He had to voice it. I can't stand you. So imagine that kind of thing. When now you understand why black Americans worship the God of ignorance. It's a survival mechanism. Because if they are above average intelligence, others will ostracize and reject them and despise them. I was wondering why somebody told me, because in the past that they used to kill the intelligent among them. So now they themselves are doing the killing to keep others from being intelligent. If you're above average intelligence. So I had to hide his intelligence. Me, once I saw the environment, I said, no, I'm not sure anything here. But he who can advertise me, advertise my skill, advertise everything. So one time, he let him know, he saw I was doing architectural work. He did architectural rendering. So he saw that I could do architectural work. He began to advertise it. He said, that they don't even need to get an architect. There's one in-house that I could do all the architectural work. And they pay a fraction of what they would have paid an architect. I didn't say anything. I really didn't want to do it, because if they had asked me to do it for free, I would have. They had this brainwashing guilt mechanism. Oh, do it as a work for the Lord, and that's it. No, you're bound. You feel obligated. So I didn't want to do it. I said, for a fraction of the cost. I said, let me observe them. Let me see if they're like whites who recognize opportunities. Let me just watch them and see. They didn't bite. I said, so they're not like whites, because whites, they always look for opportunities. That's the reason why America became the land of inventions, because they want inventions, anything that has to do with innovation. America's the land where it happened. And discovered that there's only whites that are like that. Because I was watching, said, I'm saying there are white people. They didn't bite. I remember one time, one guy came, and I don't know who sent him. I didn't even know. I don't remember if I asked him who sent him. He came to center, and he showed me his rendering, and he said nobody was able to. This was a architect's general arrangement. He said nobody is able to interpret this stuff, translate the architect general arrangement. I looked at it, I couldn't translate it. I said, give me a couple of days, let me see what this architect was doing. Because I saw the diagram, so this was professionally done, but I have no clue what this guy is doing. I can't translate a side view, a front view, top view, but they're not translating. What the heck did this guy do? So after about a day or two, I was studying and said, oh, I figured out what he did. I called him and said, hey, he's doing a split picture. So the front view, half of it is back view. The side view, half of it is the left side of the building, and the other half is the right side of the building. I don't know if this is something that the architects do now, or if it just his strategy. I was wondering why I didn't even go find out from the architect. I don't remember what his answer was. So I gave him a sketch. He came and I gave him a sketch, showed him this is what the building looks like. So he said I was the only person who was able to translate that rendering. Nobody else could translate it. I guess couldn't find the architect or whatever. So I did the full rendering for him, and then he asked me to go with him to the I think it was the city hall, to get it approved in case they have questions to ask. So when we went there was a Nigerian, the guy who did the approval. It was a Nigerian guy. He was frowning. The guy didn't. I told the guy, the person that gave it, I said, that guy doesn't like his job, because he was frowning. Didn't look happy. However, the moment he saw the picture, and the guy told me before to put on details, like security camera, post box, all the stuff. When you've done comic book drawings before, you should become an expert on details, because comic books is all about details. So I put in everything. So when the guy saw the picture, the man had a big smile on his face. He said, this is the first time that people get it right. They get the render right, the first submission. Usually they have to go and do some correction and come back. So you have all the details. I see the camera, I see there's all the little details that they usually want. That's what it is. But actually, the guy smiles at the first time. Said, yeah, okay. So the thing got approved, and we were temporary friends for a while. They come on, just went our ways. However, what the point I was trying to make is this. I remember the whole architectural episode where my friend was trying to advertise it at the church, trying to tell them. I just keep my mouth shut. He was doing it himself. And they didn't bother to investigate to find out, to even see what the kind of designs I've done, the building, the designs I've done, all that stuff. I remembered the parable of the talent that Jesus told. So one a master, he got 3 servants. One he gave 5 talents, another gave 2, another gave 1. The one with 5 talents multiplied it to 10. Got an extra 5 and it was 10. One he gave 2, got an extra 2 and it was 4. One he gave 1 talent, buried it. So I realized Black Americans are the ones with the 1 talent that buried it. If it doesn't have to do with religion, sports, entertainment, they bury it. Whites, they're the ones with 5 talents. Multiply. What did he do? He took the talent from the one who buried it and gave to the one that had 5. And they asked him, the other 7 asked him, hey, this one has 5, why'd you give him another talent? He said, to him that have much shall be given, but to him that have not, even what he has shall be taken from him. I said, oh, so that's why whites continue to multiply in their talents and their abilities to keep, because whichever one God gives them, they multiply it. Whatever comes that way, they multiply. That's the secret of what made America great. When people say, America has never been great, I look at them and say, is this person an oxymoron? Then I realized that the history of science and technology that was born in America is not known. They don't teach this in the school. So when Donald Trump says, make America great again, people say, blacks, I say, America has never been great. I say, what the heck are you talking about? I didn't know one of these things that had happened here. I remember my college days when I was telling some woman, was a black lady about it, the science and technology that were born in America. And she said, oh, that black people don't feel like they were part of it. This was back in my college days. Now I would tell her, you don't feel like you're part of it, become a part of it. It hasn't changed. Europe had sophisticated culture, had classic architecture, had rich historical heritage. America at that time was the land of innovation. That's what America had going for it. Scientific innovations and technological inventions, or scientific inventions, technological innovation, whichever way. That was America's draw. So people from all over the world were coming because America was flexing its muscle in science and technology. Science and technology was America's double bicep pose, and the world saw it, and people were coming from everywhere. I remember a Bulgarian friend of mine, he was saying that, oh, America just has people from different parts of the world come to America and bring all their inventions and all that stuff. I said, why didn't they do whatever they do in America? Why didn't they do it in their land? You say, oh, one Indian guy, they went to India and got him, told him to come here and they were paying such and such and such, and for whatever he was doing. I said, if his home, India, had valued what he was doing as much as America, he wouldn't have needed to leave. He would have paid him what America was paying him, because America valued him more than his home. That's why he came. America values those things. So don't blame America. That's what made America great. The science and technology. Before there was celebrity, I saw a documentary explain this thing, because I was wondering. There was an era when there were inventors and all that stuff were popular in America. What happened in that era? It was a documentary, and it was explained. It was by a British guy too. He said that before there were celebrities, as we know that now, the celebrities used to be the inventors. They were the celebrities. That was the era of the Thomas Edisons, the era of the Henry Fords, the era of the Wright brothers, the era of the Nikola Tesla, the era of the Alexander Graham Bell, that invented the telephone. So that was the era. They were the celebrities then. Thomas Edison's invention, the motion picture, is what created these new celebrities. It's Thomas Edison's invention, the motion picture. He was explain how it happened. He said because Thomas Edison was yes, he gave us a light bulb, but the man was a ruthless person. Not somebody to play with. He got wealthy, powerful, influential, and you can mess around with him. He had DC current, direct current. The guy who was his former employee, Nikola Tesla, created alternating current and started competing with Tesla. He quit working with Tesla, went to work with competition. Started competing with Tesla. So Tesla, in order to badmouth alternating current, which you have now, Nikola Tesla gave us electric motor and alternating current. He would electrocute animals in public, have a public gathering and electrocute animals. That's a ruthless human being. Even electrocuted an elephant. It's because of Edison that we have electric chair. It showed that you can use electricity to kill a living organism. That's a ruthless man. You don't play around with a person like that. So they took his invention to run away from Thomas Edison. They ran from the East Coast all the way to the West Coast, to the end of America. And that's where they set up Hollywood with his invention, motion picture. I thought about that and said, oh, I guess it was the ocean that stopped them. If not, they would have kept going. They ran away from Thomas Edison. So they so feared him, they had to run all the way to the other end of America. Only the ocean stopped them. Said, oh, go to California. Hey, can't go, no more place to go. We'll set up camp here. He won't reach us here. So Hollywood now was born out of it and created new celebrities that we know now. But before that, it was the inventors. But the spirit of invention never left America. It's still here. The spirit of invention is still here. So I feel like, oh, one other part of it. Becoming part of it is still here. I want you to see the spirit of invention never gone anywhere. It's just the attention is not giving it any longer. Celebrities, action stars, all that stuff, using Edison's invention, motion picture. He invented many things, and he also stole many people's invention. That's the truth. It's an ongoing thing with the world of innovation. If someone invents something, you can change it to an extent where you can now copyright it and call it your own. Edison, I guess that tradition started with Edison because it's still here in the world of invention. Someone invents something, you just change this, that. Now you can call it your own. I guess it started with Edison. So they claim he stole a lot of inventions. He invented a lot. He stole people's inventions. When you're an inventor, things will inspire you, but that's a touchy subject. Anyway, now, so now you conclude with that. What I started with, I was talking about King Ahasuerus. His friend, Haman, I turned out to be his worst enemy. So when I was thinking about that, I said, I know the man's feeling, because I've been through that experience. The one who was my best friend, who was an inspiration, who even led me to improve my skills, literally, by challenging, making me, have me do the impossible. And the teachers, the instructor said, this is impossible. It takes an entire department to do what you do by yourself. He was right. I didn't think it was possible when the guy mentioned it. I thought he was out of his mind. Crazy religious person. But I ended up doing it. Shocked myself. For 5 years I did. The only reason I stopped is sixth one. I did it for a school, a black school. I found out the importance of working with organizations, things are organized. I gave them simple instruction they could not follow. It turned to chaos. Then I started feeling the weight of the project on me. And I started losing my energy, and I realized, oh, so this is why I need a department to do this thing. Because it takes an entire department to handle the kind of chaos they're bringing now. So that was simple, they complicated it. They could not follow simple instructions. I said, I've done it for 5 years. Follow my instruction. They could not. Scattered, chaos everywhere. By the time I knew all my energy was gone, I said, oh, so this is why it takes an entire department to do this. I said, after that, I'm never doing another yearbook again. That's it. This is the last one. So this became the last yearbook I did. No, the sixth one. The last yearbook I did. This was the last yearbook I did for the Dragon's Kingdom. I call it the kingdom because they think they are kings. I was told that in the past when black Americans couldn't vote, that they looked at the preachers as their president. So the church kind of like a White House. And that's why the wife of the black American preacher is called the First Lady. That's the title that belongs to the president's wife. Melania Trump, that's the First Lady. President Trump is the first man, the president. Well, black American preachers, their wives are called First Lady. Why? Because in the past, before, when they couldn't vote, the preachers were their presidents. So in their mind, the preachers are, they see themselves as kings. And the church world is their kingdom. Anyway, now the 2 time I have, let me scratch on the message. I didn't want to consume the whole message with the story. So this short 10 minutes. Let me jump into chapter 8. Now, in chapter 8, we conclude that when King Ahasuerus had now gotten Haman hung and his anger had been pacified. Now, that was the end of chapter 7. Now, chapter 8 begins like this. On that day did the king Ahasuerus give the house of Haman, the Jews' enemy, unto Esther the queen. And Mordecai came before the king, for Esther had told what he was unto her. Mordecai, Esther now told, hey, this guy that sits at the gate, this guy is my big cousin. He's like a father to me. He raised me and all that stuff. He took care of me. And the king took off his ring, which he had taken from Haman, and gave it unto Mordecai. Those days, men were wise. Now people have knowledge, they don't have wisdom. Those days, men were wise. He knew that this guy qualified to be his BFF in place of Haman. So he took the ring that used to be on Haman's hand and put on his hand, saying, now you're replacing Haman. Now, say, oh no, I have to get to know you first. We have to hang out. We have to go and eat and so can fill you out and see if we connect and all that stuff. But then they had wisdom. He knew right away this is the person I can connect with. He didn't wait to have the connection. He said, he gave me that entering covenant with him right away. I looked at it and said, Haman, but Mordecai, he just gave Mordecai Esther's a referral. He gave Mordecai. I said, this kind of wisdom doesn't exist now. People cannot stand and know what they're dealing with right away. They don't have that kind of wisdom any longer. They have knowledge, not wisdom. Now I can do that. The moment I see a person, I can scan like divine wisdom, just give me insight who I'm dealing with, what I'm dealing with. If there's any compatibility, I don't have to go to long ranges of, well, let's hang out, let's meet there. Quick scan. Even one look at the eyeballs is loaded with information. When you have spiritual sensitivity, prophetic insight, you look at the eyes will download the information. They can be telling you something else with their mouth, but their eyes give them away. That's how you should look at the eyes. Instantaneous information download. I know everything. Even without them even opening their mouth, just see their eyes. Boom! Download the information. So some people wonder, why am I not trying to connect? Like, your eyes have already revealed to me who you are. What am I connecting for? I already know. Whatever you're hiding, your eyes are naked. They have told me who you are. They're trying to be friends. Like, nothing. I'm looking at the eyes. Eyes telling me enemy. They're trying to be mad. They're trying to say friend. But their eyes are telling me enemy. Wah, 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 wah. Okay. And the king took off his ring, which he had taken from Haman, and gave it unto Mordecai and Esther. And Esther set Mordecai over the house of Haman. Haman's kingdom had now been given to Esther. Esther didn't have anything to do with it, so she just gave it to Mordecai. Said, hey, you take over this thing. Like, yeah, do the business of the palace. You take over Haman's estate. Now, the words of Haman's friends had come to pass, that Haman's downfall was going to be because of Mordecai. Now, Mordecai had taken over Haman's kingdom. Now, Haman's friends will now have to bow and submit themselves to Mordecai. The one who they were encouraging Haman to go and hang, now they have to submit to. And Esther set Mordecai over the house of Haman. And let me quickly interject here with the little time that I have. I think that's where I'll stop. What has happened here? Just as Joseph went in one day from the prison to the palace, in one day Mordecai had gone from the gate to taking over Haman's estate. When this happens, as a sequence of events that takes place, when Joseph, that day that Joseph's life changed, and Joseph went from being a dreamer to becoming a dream. Why? Because according to the psalmist, when the Lord turned the captivity of Judah again, he was like them that dream. So when God turns things around, it will be like a dream. So Joseph, when he went from the prison to the palace, it would be like it was like a dream to him. So Mordecai entered that dream phase when everything had changed. Now he was over Haman's, gone from sitting at the gate, over Haman's estate. It would be like a dream to him. The question is like, how long will that dream last? We find out in Isaiah, the famous scripture of Isaiah. Isaiah chapter 61. We know verse 1. The Spirit of God is upon me, because the Lord had anointed me to preach good tidings unto the meek. He had set me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives, and opening of prison to them that are bound. But verse 2 hasn't been explored. To proclaim the acceptable year of the Lord, and the day of vengeance of our God, to comfort all that mourn. The day that God brings forth that deliverance is the day of his vengeance against the enemy of his chosen one, against the enemy of his people. But for a year, that dream, they enter that dream state will last for a year. That's the acceptable year of the Lord. So for a whole year, they'll feel like they're in a dream state. That he hasn't fully downloaded. After that, that's when they'll now settle in. They'll now become their new normal. But for you, after God brings you to your promised land, for a year you've been like in dream states. That, is this really happening? Am I going to wake up one day and it will all be gone? After a year, that's when things will settle in. Now, Joseph, interestingly, and I close with this. I think I've run out of time.